Ever wondered why the pilot's area in an aircraft is called a cockpit? The term cockpit might seem a bit peculiar at first, especially in the context of the sleek, technologically advanced world of aviation. The origins of the word take us back to the 1500s, a time when the notion of human flight was more a matter of myth and legend than scientific endeavor. Back then, the word cockpit described something far from the high skies. It referred to a pit or arena where roosters were placed to fight each other. These arenas were often small and enclosed, designed specifically to prevent the birds from escaping. Fast forward to the 17th century in London, where a venue known as the Cockpit emerged. It was built on the site of an old venue for cockfights, and later became a place where theatrical performances were held. However, after being demolished in the 1600s, the site gave rise to buildings that housed key government functions. Over time, the term cockpit began to be associated with areas that served as centers of control and command. As language and culture evolved, the term cockpit expanded in its application. By the 18th and 19th centuries, it had been adopted by the maritime world. In this context, a cockpit referred to the area in a boat where the steering was managed, typically by the boat's coxswain or coxswain. This term naturally transitioned into other areas involving control and oversight. With the advent of the 20th century and the rise of mechanized flight, the term cockpit was ready to take on a new dimension. In 1909, the New York Times used cockpit to describe the command area of an airship, marking one of the first uses of the term in aviation. This usage capitalized on the cockpit's connotations of control and command, a fitting description for the space where pilots manage the complex operations of flight. The term cockpit also found its way into the automotive industry around 1904, further cementing its association with control areas in vehicles. This broad usage across different fields underscores the cockpit's evolution from a literal fighting pit to a metaphorical center of command and control, whether on land, at sea, or in the air. In summary, the journey of the word cockpit, from its origins in the grimy pits of cockfights to the high-tech flight decks of modern aircraft, is a fascinating tale of linguistic evolution. What began as a term for a crude arena became synonymous with the nerve centers of vehicles and vessels, perfectly capturing the essence of control and oversight that defines the modern cockpit.